The world around me is an uncomfortable blur of shadows and light. I blink, struggling to regain my senses, but the throbbing pain in my jaw and the taste of iron in my mouth drown out everything else. A voice echoes in my mind. Marcus's words resonate deeply, a mantra of sorts that I've heard countless times in our training sessions. There are no rules, he had said with a fierce glint in his eyes, but as I lie here, I question what that really means. As my vision clears, I feel the coolness of the floor beneath me, a stark contrast to the heat radiating from my wounded pride. Memories rush back, echoes of laughter, the clinking of glasses, and then the fight. A barroom brawl, sparked by too much bravado and not enough sense. My friends had stood by, cheering me on, but I had miscalculated my moves, allowing someone to strike me when I wasn't ready. But this moment is not just about failure. There's a lesson here, one that Marcus has been trying to teach me, albeit indirectly. He saw my potential. He admired my tenacity. Yet, he also knew I had to learn resilience. I struggled to push myself off the ground, every muscle in my body screaming in protest. That's when I take stock of my surroundings. I noticed the patrons staring at me, fascinated by the spectacle, their interest less in my victory than in my downfall. Then I see Marcus, standing to the side, arms crossed and a knowing smirk on his face. He lifts an eyebrow, a playful challenge in his eyes. "You needed that," he says, breaking the silence between us. He gives me a moment to process my surroundings and breathe through the pain before adding, "You need to understand that strength lies not only in your fists, but also in your ability to rise again." I might be on the floor now, laying in defeat, but I'm not so easily cowed. It may sound cliché, but in this moment, I feel a flicker of determination ignite in my chest. I remember all those grueling training sessions, those moments when my muscles burned and my lungs ached, but I kept pressing on. I have the resilience forged from hard work. I pushed through the pain, grappling my way back to my feet, ignoring the shocked expressions of onlookers. With each shift of my weight, I feel a rush of blood flowing back into my limbs. The ground beneath me is unsteady, but my spirit feels remarkably strong. Once again, I can hear Marcus's voice. "Do not fear the fall. Embrace it. Every stumble teaches you something new," he had said earlier during training. And there it is, my guiding principle. I had fallen, sure, but I would not remain defeated. Straightening up and steadying myself, I take a moment to assess my surroundings. The chaos around me starts to fade as I focus inward, drawing inspiration from the depths of my experience. The world has its way of testing us. Sometimes it pushes us to the brink. But the universe also offers wisdom, often hiding in plain sight for those willing to listen. As I prepare to step forward, I realize that the fight is not just out there in the bar, but inside my very own heart. As the adrenaline coursed through me, I glanced at my friends, their expressions a mixture of disbelief and encouragement. They want to see me succeed. They've invested their own time and energy in our shared dreams. It acts as an anchor, pulling me back from the brink of doubt. Suddenly, I feel the weight of expectations, not just for myself, but what I envision for my friends as well. What kind of leader would I be if I allowed myself to succumb to fear? A soldier without hope, a teacher without lessons. The world demands that we show up, and more than that, show up again and again. With a renewed sense of purpose, I step forward. The crowd parts slightly and the opponent stands before me, breathing hard as adrenaline still courses through him as well. He looks no different from the others, but I see now the reflection of all my fears, of my dreams strung together, waiting for me to take control. And I realize the fight I need to engage in is different than the physical display that got me to this point. I summon patience and focus. With each breath, I visualize the patience and strength drawing forth from within me. I remember to trust my instincts, recalling every lesson Marcus taught. How we can build strength through struggle, turning adversity into advantage. As I sidestep the initial strike and let my opponent's energy carry him forward, I feel a transformation happening, a melding of grit and grace. Every punch thrown becomes an opportunity to step into my power, to understand that though I may stumble, the ground itself nurtures resilience. Striking back is an act not only of reclaiming my dignity, but also of teaching myself the art of not just combat, but of self-identity. With each move, I come to understand that this journey is so much more than a physical fight. It's about honoring your inner warrior, embracing the challenges that forge who you are meant to be. The dance of struggle is not aimless. It's the freedom to rise after you fall. It teaches you to pivot or adjust your course, and above all else, to learn from the experience. The crowd roars as the fight crescendos, but the chaotic noise becomes a comforting hum as I find my rhythm. I've moved beyond the fear of judgment and embraced my imperfections. Every misstep now feels like an opportunity for growth, clarity, and recalibration of purpose. Before long, the match comes to an end. I don't emerge as the victor in the traditional sense. Instead, I walk away from the brawl, battered yet whole. And that's exactly it. While strength might be measured in combat, true strength resonates from within. It's understanding that life is indeed a series of fights, fighting with ourselves, our limitations, our fears. And standing there, proud and activated, I realize that though I may be defeated today, I am learning. I am a work in progress and paving a path toward my true self. Later, Marcus finds me outside, the starlit sky sprawled out like a canvas above us, twinkling with infinite possibilities. "What did you learn today?" he asks with a smile, knowing full well the answer. While I could tell him about the bruises or the fight itself, I choose to share my newfound philosophy. I learned that there's no greater enemy than our own self-doubt, and resilience is grown in the skin of struggle. I admit, a grin spreading across my face. Every challenge we face prepares us for the next fight in life. Each fall only serves to teach us how to stand back up again. He nods appreciatively, his eyes glistening with approval. And as we walk into the night, I realize I'm no longer the person who began this night. I have embraced the uncertainty of life and transformed pain into purpose, crafting from my struggles not just hope, but a blazing belief in myself and my journey ahead. So, remember, the struggles on your path are what carve out the essence of who you are. Don't shy away from them. Embrace them. In each moment of difficulty, there lies an invaluable lesson waiting to be learned, a strength just waiting to be discovered, and the beauty of growth woven in the fabric of resilience. The fight is not just about triumph or loss. It's about learning, expanding, and evolving into the best version of yourself. Life, essentially, calls upon us to rise, to grow, and to illuminate our own paths. Each moment returns us to our greatest teacher, the self. So rise, learn, and with that knowledge, inspire others to do the same. When you stand before your own fight, remember the lessons hidden within each punch, each bruise, and know that you have the power to transform any moment into one of self-enlightenment, wisdom, and ultimately, victory.